Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're taking on a topic that truly separates the novices from the pros, demystifying embedded systems debugging. You know, we aren't going to look at debugging as some frustrating chore today. Instead, we're going to reframe it as what it really is, a core engineering superpower.
Here is our roadmap for today. We'll cover 1. The art of debugging. 2. Multimeter, the first responder. 3. Oscilloscope, seeing the invisible. 4. JTAG, inside the brain. And finally, 5. The systematic workflow.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the art of debugging. So, we've all been there, right? That moment of sheer frustration every embedded engineer inevitably faces. Picture this. Your brand new, beautifully soldered custom board is sitting right there on the bench, and it is completely dead. No lights, absolutely no response. So, what do you do first? I ask this because it perfectly highlights a really common beginner mistake. The novice instinct is to immediately start tweaking lines of code or frantically swapping out components when a board won't boot up. But honestly, that's just guessing. We've got to be methodical here. Debugging is the systematic process of identifying, isolating, and resolving errors. What makes embedded systems so uniquely challenging is that they're a mashup of hardware and software. That means your faults can originate in the physical circuits, the firmware logic, or right at that super tricky interface where the two actually meet.
And this brilliantly illustrates the point. Just take a look at the messy, beautiful reality of a hardware workbench. I always like to think of troubleshooting an embedded system like medical diagnostics. The tools you see sitting on that bench, there are medical instruments. I mean, you wouldn't perform open-heart surgery without taking a patient's pulse first, would you?
Which brings us right to Section 2, Multimeter, the first responder.
This is your crucial triage tool. It's the exact equivalent of checking that pulse and blood pressure. The absolute essential is a multimeter safely probing a circuit board. This is literally the very first tool every embedded engineer should reach for. Long before you even think about opening your code editor, the multimeter lets you measure key electrical properties quickly and safely.
You've basically got 4 primary triage superpowers here. Voltage, to make sure your rails aren't sagging. Current, to check for an excessive draw that might point to a dead short. Resistance, to verify your pull-ups or trace integrity. And of course, continuity, everyone's favorite beep test, to confirm your paths are actually unbroken. Running through these isolates the physical faults before you touch anything advanced.
Okay, I really want to slow down for a second here to emphasize this next point, because it is absolutely crucial. This is your golden rule. Always start from the power supply. A missing or incorrect supply voltage is, hands down, the single most common cause of a non-functional board. Most hardware faults manifest right here, as incorrect or missing voltages. If your VCC and ground aren't perfectly right, your code simply doesn't matter. You have to verify this first.
Moving on to Section 3, Oscilloscope, seeing the invisible. So what happens when the power is perfectly fine, but the board still acts like a brick? Well, we need an EKG to monitor the board's heartbeats and literally visualize the invisible. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the contrast between the two screens. On the left, we're capturing those basic analog repeating waveforms. But on the right, we're zooming way in on complex UART and SPI serial signals. An oscilloscope displays voltage as a function of time, and that's incredible because it reveals dynamic signal behaviors that your multimeter simply cannot catch.
Think about the rapid data capture capabilities this unlocks for us. We get real-time waveform observation. We can measure frequency, period, and PWM duty cycles, which, by the way, is absolute magic when you're trying to verify outputs driving motors or LEDs. We can monitor serial bus activity across UART, SPI, or I2C to confirm data is transmitting perfectly without any protocol errors. And we can inspect clock stability, which makes it super easy to spot noise, ringing, or signal degradation on your critical lines.
All right, on to Section 4, JTAG, inside the brain.
Okay, we've reached the climax. The hardware is perfect. The power is rock solid. The signals are squeaky clean. By process of elimination, the bug has to be in the code. We need our ultimate MRI machine for the microcontroller. What you're seeing is a JTAG interface connected directly to a microcontroller. And importantly, we haven't even removed the chip from the circuit. JTAG and its counterpart SWD, which you'll see a lot on ARM Cortex-M or STM32 systems, allows you to program and debug the brain directly on the live board.
To really put this into perspective, let's compare our tool set. Your multimeter and oscilloscope on the left, those are strictly for hardware and physical signals. The JTAG interface on the right,
That's entirely for software and logic. JTAG uniquely lets you step through your actual code line by line. You can set breakpoints to pause execution right before a crash, you can view live variable values, and you can deeply inspect memory and registers. You are literally watching the software's thought process in real time.
Let's move to Section 5, the systematic workflow, and see how this all comes together.
Let's see how this builds into a unified professional methodology that you can apply on your very next project. Remember, debugging is all about order. We validate power, then continuity, then components, and finally signals. Following this structured step-by-step approach significantly slashes your debugging time. But most importantly, it completely stops that amateur habit of random guessing dead in its tracks.
I really want you to leave this explainer with an actionable, repeatable workflow. So here it is, methodically laid out for you. Step 1, power. Grab that multimeter and verify VCC and ground. Step 2, connections. Inspect your wiring, your solder joints, and run those continuity checks. Step 3, signals. Bring in the oscilloscope to observe your waveforms and your communication buses. And only then, Step 4, code. Boot up your JTAG interface to set breakpoints and step through your logic.
This structured path perfectly summarizes our journey today. Debugging is definitely not a dark art. It's a logical, inevitable progression. You build a rock-solid foundation by verifying the hardware first, and only when you absolutely know the physical world is perfect do you move along the path to troubleshoot the software logic.
Quick quiz for you. If your board has a missing supply voltage, which tool did you forget to use first? Yep, the multimeter. Never forget the golden rule. But as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this thought. As embedded systems increasingly integrate multi-core SoCs, AI accelerators, and massively complex wireless stacks all onto a single chip, will our traditional JCAG and oscilloscopes actually be enough? Or are we standing right on the edge of a completely new era of debugging? Thanks for joining me today, and hey, happy debugging!